What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 21 of our Pokemon Unbreakable Ties walkthrough. The last episode was absolutely insane. If you haven't watched part 20, I definitely recommend going back and giving it a watch. It has been my favorite episode yet. The storyline is insane, and it's all about the abandoned orphanage. But now in today's episode, we're continuing with the story. We just made our way past this character that was blocking the path. He was missing a Pokemon. He had lost one of his Pokemon. And he asked us to go and find it in the orphanage, which we did. So definitely go back and give part 20 a watch. And now that we've made it past him, we are exploring the next route. There are a bunch of awesome new Pokemon for us to battle and catch. And we're definitely going to be collecting as many log pieces as we can moving forward because they are super valuable. If you haven't seen the episode where we return to the city, there's a man that offers to buy the log pieces, or you can trade the log pieces for super strong TMs or hold items. So we're going to try and collect as many of these log pieces as possible. They're a big plus in this game, especially when it comes to earning money. And here we've encountered a cave, which I definitely want to explore. I just want to see if there's any other spots along this route that we have missed. Like here we've just picked up a hyper potion, so that might come in handy. But now that we've covered everything in the northern section, I think we should explore this cave. It's called the Magnetic Cave, and we're going to have a quick look at what Pokemon we can encounter. Okay, some cool electric types and steel types. We've got Joltik, Magneton, Bronzong, even Axew can be found in here. And we've already encountered our first Pokemon, a Ferroseed, which is a steel grass type, and it's level 47, so the Pokemon in this cave are fairly strong. But that's exactly what we need. We need to train up our team and get them all a lot stronger. I want to try get our team at least to level 55 in this episode. And we caught our first Pokemon in the Magnetic Cave, so that's pretty cool. We're going to try and catch a whole bunch more. And if you guys have watched part 20, there's a super tough battle in that episode. And we weren't strong enough, we weren't prepared enough, so that's why we're going to get a whole bunch of training in today's episode. Okay, well, there are a couple scientists in the Magnetic Cave here that we can battle, and a whole bunch of cool items, and this is a huge cave. There is a lot to explore in here, and it's almost like a maze, so I just want to let you guys know it is tricky, and try and remember where you are. And as you can see, there's these little floating crystals that you can move and slide forward to enter new parts of the cave. Like here you can push it up or down. But like I said, this cave is almost like a maze. You can get lost in here really easily. So just try and make a point of remembering where you are and which sections of the cave you explored. Otherwise you're just going to end up going in circles and going back to areas that you've already explored through. But now we're going to make our way deeper into the cave. We've just picked up a metal coat, so that's a really cool item. You can use that to evolve certain Pokemon like Onix or Scyther. If you use a metal coat on them, it evolves them into their steel type form of Steelix or Scissor. And here we've encountered a scientist that has a little side quest for us. This is the main side quest of the game. And we've just picked up an Electrolyzer, which also evolves Electabuzz into Electivire, I believe. So you can get some really awesome items in this cave, a lot of items that will help evolve certain Pokemon. So other than just trying to complete the side quest, you definitely want to take your time to try and pick up and explore the cave as much as possible. Pick up all the items you can. And here we've just reached a nurse, which will help heal our team up. We'll have to go back to her very often. And first we're going to explore the southern part of the cave here below the nurse. And before I was saying the side quest, we've got to find an ancient treasure. It's a cell of a certain special Pokemon that we've got to find in here for the scientist. So I think it might be a Zygarde cell, because the theme of this cave looks like it would suit Zygarde. Like Zygarde is the black and green pseudo-legendary Pokemon. And there's a lot of green crystals in here. And the only Pokemon I can think of that needs cells is Zygarde. Normally, the more cells you collect will help transform Zygarde into a stronger form. So I think we've got to try and find Zygarde cells in here. And here we just picked up a Thunderstone. So that also will evolve certain electric type Pokemon. We're just getting loads of awesome items. And there are tons of people to battle in here. There's a lot of scientists and hikers. So I am skipping a lot of the battles just to try and save time, because this is a huge cave. But there are a lot of battles. But we did find the nurse earlier where you can go back and heal your Pokemon. So now we've got to try and reach this secret hidden area. Apparently no one could reach it, where the Zygarde cells are supposed to be hidden. And if we can find this hidden treasure, then we can go back to the scientist and see what he'll reward us with. Hopefully he will reward us with something really cool. We just picked up a max revive, and there's a lot of places in here where you can do some mining. So I did take the time to do some mining as well, and you can again find some crazy items. So definitely don't miss up on that opportunity. You want to do as much mining as you can. I just did that again off camera to not waste your guys' time too much. But this is quite a tough side quest. It is going to take you quite a while to complete and explore. And there's also like cool Pokemon to battle and catch. So do make sure that you've got a bit of time on your hands when taking on this arc of the game. And like I said in the previous video, we did struggle with the super tough boss battle at the orphanage. So that has made me consider things in my team. I might have to swap out a few Pokemon in the near future and add some new Pokemon to my team. I did add this Druddigon into my team recently, but it's not performing as well as I was hoping it would. So I don't know how much longer we're going to keep it in our team. We're going to train it up a bit and give it a proper go. But normally I like to have Pokemon that evolve twice, because they tend to be a lot stronger. Their base stats seem to be higher once they're finally evolved and once they have evolved twice. And I need to think what Pokemon are going to make my team stronger. And I need to start thinking about typing. I haven't really considered typing all that seriously in the game so far. But I need to have a more diverse typing in my team. I don't have any electric Pokemon, so I might want to add an electric type, or at least learn some electric type attacks possibly. I would like to use Magnezone. It's a Pokemon I've been considering using in a playthrough for a while now that I haven't really given a go to. And that's a steel and electric type, so it covers 2 typings. But let me know in the comments, what other Pokemon do you think I should use in my team? Give me some ideas. Maybe a cool ice type might be useful. I don't know, maybe like a Mamoswine or some other cool ice type Pokemon. Maybe like a sphere that evolves. Another Pokemon I'm considering is Cleaver, Scyther's new evolution, so that might be a cool Pokemon to try out. And we've just made it outside the cave. There's some special exit, and it looks like we have found Vegeta? What is going on? Are we still playing Pokemon, or is this Dragon Ball? Okay, there's a whole bunch of weird pictures of Goku and Vegeta popping up on the screen. I do not approve of those images. And Vegeta says, "I'll show you my love, Kakarot." I don't know what on earth is going on. We picked up an item called Male Tears, which are Saiyan tears that heal Pokemon in your team. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but we just found Vegeta outside of the cave. That is so random. And there was a whole bunch of crazy pictures popping up. I don't know, That was a weird addition to the game, but I do love Dragon Ball. I'm such a big Dragon Ball Z fan. Let me know in the comments if you also like Dragon Ball. I actually just started watching the anime Dragon Ball Daima, and it's so good. I'm already hooked. I'm only 5 or 6 episodes in, but it's so good. Definitely one of my favorite anime of all time. So I'm looking forward to watching more of that. But let me know in the comments if you guys like Dragon Ball, or what other anime you guys are into. A lot of people are into One Piece at the moment, which is also really good. I love the Netflix live action series. I believe the 2nd season of that is also supposed to come out later this year. And anime's definitely made a big comeback. In Japan, it's always been big, but it seems to be taking over a bit in the West, which is a good thing. I like that they have become more popular recently. But yeah, what a surprise. We found Vegeta in the game. And we found another little secret entrance, but it looks like you need strength or something to move that big boulder here. We can't really go past there yet, but we don't want to forget about that. We will come back when we are able to move these boulders. And here we have found another nurse. It's not the first nurse that we found. That's what I was saying. Like, this place is such a maze. A lot of the areas look very similar. Like, initially I thought that was the first nurse that we encountered, but it was the second nurse. And here it looks like we've just found the cell, the hidden treasure. It was in that little section in the northern part near the second nurse. So don't get confused when you see that nurse. Like, I got lost in here really badly. And when I saw that nurse, I thought, oh no, I'm back where I started with the healing nurses. But there's actually 2 of them in here. Here's the first nurse that heals your Pokemon, which I got a bit confused by. But we do have the cell now, so we're going to try find that scientist and give it to him and see what he will reward us with. Hopefully something cool, because this was a tough mission. Okay, he gives us a life orb. Okay, that's pretty cool. And in order to get out of the cave now, you want to take all the red ladders. So that's going to make things a little bit easier for us. So try find all the red ladders. The red ladders are the exit ladders. So that's helpful to know on the way out. And there's also a couple mining spots, a few trainers to battle, and a few more little hidden items to pick up on the way out. So do make sure to do all of those. There are some trainers that you want to battle and get some more experience from. But like I said, I've definitely been in here for well over an hour, maybe 2 hours. So it does take a bit of time, but you don't want to miss out on anything. Like, complete all the mining, collect all the items, so you don't have to come back here at a later stage. But we have done all of that. We've battled everyone. And as you can see, I've completed all the mining. We have found more red ladders to get out of here. And I will be so happy once we do reach the exits, because I think I've been in here for like 2 hours now. But it has been a really fun section of the game. It was super tough to find that Zygarde cell, but pretty cool that we came across Vegeta. Now, looks like there is another Pokeball up north there that I want to try and pick up. Ah, and there's another one to the left there, so we might have to go back and surf across. I want to collect all these items. I don't want to forget any of them. Let's see what this little item is. A quick ball, so that's going to be handy. And if there's any cool Pokemon in here, you might want to catch some of them. Axew is a big fan favorite. And Bronzong you can also find in here, which can be quite cool. But finally, it looks like we've made it out. And we've jumped to the cutscene. Looks like there are some royal family grunts. And they're still really concerned about Derek. Derek was captured again. King Henry orders the royal family grunts to return to the palace and to call off the search. And it looks like here Ditto is making his way to the royal palace too. He was transformed and looked like Derek. And it looks like this was the master plan of Derek. He wanted to use Ditto as a decoy. Derek actually came up with a super genius plan. So he got Ditto to transform into him. And then he asked Ditto to go to the gates. And as soon as the guards spot him, he must run away as fast as he can. And hopefully the guards will chase after him. And this will give Derek enough time to enter the royal palace without anyone noticing him. So it's a pretty smart plan, but I hope Ditto doesn't get caught. And that's exactly what they do. So they see Blade, which is Derek, and it looks like they're going to run after him. They're going to try catch him so that they'll impress the king. And that leaves the gates wide open for Derek. So it looks like his master plan has worked. We'll have to see where that takes Derek. And luckily, Ditto finally escapes the royal family grunts that were pursuing him. And now they've cut back to Lugano City Center, where they're supposed to be executing Commander Vesta. It looks like that actually might go through. The royal family has been trying to put this in action now for the last 2 or 3 episodes. I didn't think it was seriously going to happen, but it looks like it might. So here Rodolfo and Ida have landed back in Lugano City. Latias has transformed back into Ida's appearance, and Rodolfo said he wants ice cream, but he also wants to try go and witness this execution. He doesn't want to miss it. So he's ran off. He wants to go and try find the place where this execution is supposed to happen. And Ida and Latias catch up with him. And it looks like the whole town is here. Everybody is here to witness the execution. And King Henry is there. There's a whole bunch of royal family grunts protecting them. And it looks like Commander Vesta is already chained up. She can't move. She's stuck there. And there's a whole bunch of other characters behind. So it looks like there's the prince. And Angie Stones is there. And also Bayou and Eldritch. So the whole royal family is out here. And Commander Vesta is locked up. Things are not looking very good for her. I really hope we or somebody will be able to save Commander Vesta. She did start off as a villain, but she did help us a lot in the end, and I believe she means well. And Champion Archie there, the prince, he's just pretty sleepy and bored. He wants the action to begin. which is pretty wicked. And it looks like we're going to find out a bit more about Commander Vesta's backstory, which will be interesting. We'll try see where she comes from and how she grew up, what led to her joining the royal family. So here it takes us back more than 10 years ago when Vesta was just a little baby in Akibia. It looks like she had her Salandits and she was in the park one day and a whole bunch of rich kids, a rich guy and some other cool kids came and started picking on her and bullying her because she was from the poor side of town. And Salandit scared them off, but they called her a demon because of it. And all she was doing was minding her business, and those bullies came and gave her a hard time. So later on, Vesta went home to her mother, who worked really hard. The mother had a super tough life. She was working a horrible job. And she said she's finally going to get some money and will be able to spend some time with Vesta. She promises that the next week they will be able to spend a day or two together. So Vesta said she really wants to go to the art museum or the aquarium. So she's super excited for that. But then a policeman bursts in, a corrupt policeman, and there's been a complaint about Vesta in the park when her Salandit chased off those rich kids. So they obviously contacted the police, and Vesta's mother, Ruby, said she's never going to let this policeman touch Vesta. Those rich brats obviously paid off this corrupt officer to either beat or lock up Vesta. But Vesta's mother said that whatever the officer wanted to do to Vesta, they can rather do to her. She will take the consequence of whatever happened that day. And it looks like Vesta watched her mother get beaten more than 100 times and even hospitalized by that corrupt police officer. So the next day, Vesta was allowed to see her mother in hospital, and her mother looks like she's been attacked super badly. And Vesta's mom said that Vesta must continue being a good girl and she should always just do what she believes is right, and that she has a very strong character, and that one day she will find her true purpose, and she must not give up and fight for what she believes in. And then it turns out that Vesta's mother actually passed away because of the beating, and she also had a lung infection from all the smoking that she did. So that's incredibly sad. Then we cut to the next scene where Vesta is at her mother's gravesite, and this is where she started smoking, I believe, because it made her feel the closest to her mother. When she did that, it kind of reminded her of her mom. So that's why we always see her smoking in every scene. She's not actually a bad person. It just reminds her and gets her a little bit closer to the memory of her mom. So wow, Vesta actually has a really sad backstory. I feel very sorry for her. She's had such a tough life, and I can't believe that corrupt officer would do such a thing. And because Vesta was now alone, she had to take care and fend for herself. She kind of lived on the streets and did a whole bunch of things that she didn't want to do but had to do. She stole to get by, and this kind of lifestyle made her super strong because she was battling everyone and surviving on her own. And the royal family eventually got their eye on her, and they wanted to recruit Vesta to work for them because they saw how strong she had become with her Pokemon. So looks like that's how Vesta got caught up with the royal family, and that's what led her down that path. It all comes down to losing her mother and them not having a lot of money and all the rich bullies in the town. But now we cut back to Commander Vesta in Lugano City, and she's still locked up there, and she is staying true to her character. She says everyone must try and get rid of the royal family. They're a whole bunch of fakes, and they are not free as long as the royal family are in control. So she's super brave to do that. She's locked up, chained up. But King Henry wants to execute her, and she is telling everyone that the royal family is bad and that everyone needs to break free of the royal family. So wow, Vesta is really staying true to her character. Like her mother said, she should always do what is right. And all of a sudden, Bishop gets the order, and it looks like they actually did it. I can't believe it. They actually executed Commander Vesta. Wow. I thought she was going to get saved somehow, but it looks like she did get her head chopped off. This is incredibly sad. I can't believe that King Henry actually followed through with it. I thought that she was going to get rescued, or they were just bluffing. But they really did it. These royal family people are really evil. I don't like them at all. I can't wait to battle them. And we gotta get these people out of Akibia. I can't believe that Commander Vesta is now gone. But I am happy that she spoke her mind before and stayed true to her character and who she was. She didn't back down. She wasn't scared. I'm sure Vesta's mother would be proud of her final actions, and we actually got to see that Commander Vesta had a good heart in the end. She just had a super tough life. But what a crazy episode. It's been jam-packed and absolutely hectic. We're going to end things off here. Thanks for watching.